Well, I'm so glad you tuned in. Hey everyone, I'm Michelle. Welcome to Diaz on Deck Travel. If you're new here, I hope you'll do the boop, boop, boop. Like, subscribe, follow, share, and turn on your notifications. It helps me to keep you in the loop of my stories, bring you on my next adventures, and definitely help me to grow my channel in spite of the Secret Squirrel Society. Well, I do want to talk to you about a story I haven't actually covered yet, and that is the Hantavirus. Now, short of living under a rock or not being a cruiser, I'm sure you've heard about the Hantavirus. And I don't really like that the news is making this a cruise virus. Guys, you are probably thinking, well, this happens on cruise ships like norovirus. Well, you're going to be really surprised that thinking that is not spot on, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. We're going to talk about norovirus, which is the most common one, but hantavirus did not come from where you think. And it's really going to surprise you. Well, how did it get on the ship if it wasn't already on the ship? Well, we do not live in the days of the Titanic movie where you see all the rats running through steerage, because hantavirus comes from rat and rodent feces and urine. And how it got on the ship is not going to be what you think. So let me tell you the story of how this all evolved. A couple flew into Argentina to board the MV Hondias. But before they did that, they went on a bird watching excursion. Guys, when I tell you, you're not even going to believe the next part of this story. So they wanted to see these very rare birds, and these birds were known for being in a certain area. It was a dump. It was a dump site. Where, these birds were known to be, as well as a bunch of other species of birds. And I don't know how you feel about that, but if I pulled up on an excursion and they told me I was going to walk around in a dump, I'm out. I just don't even know. I can't even wrap my head around what they were thinking. And I'm sure you're thinking, oh, well, they wouldn't have an excursion there if it wasn't safe. Well, is it safe to walk through a garbage site just to see birds? Well, I'm going to tell you the best part of the story, because that's not even it. So they traced the patient zero to these two individuals who went on this bird watching trip. And they were a 70-year-old man and his 69-year-old wife. Well, they come onto the ship and they bring it onto the ship. This didn't start on the ship. This was transmitted through them bringing it on the ship. And now you're thinking, oh my gosh, how do I protect myself? Well, I'm going to tell you some things that you can do a little bit later on in this video. Also later on, I do want to tell you about a comedian that kind of covered these types of excursions on one of my cruises, and something that's always stuck in my head, but I'm going to come back to that. So unfortunately, the man passed away on board and the woman passed away trying to get back home to the Netherlands. So, I just don't even know what I would say if somebody told me that's where my excursion was going to be, or were they even told that? What do you guys think about that? I mean, would you go on an excursion like that? I know I wouldn't. I mean, I can imagine being an avid bird watcher, you are willing to do just about anything, but I have to draw the line somewhere. What do you guys think? Would you draw the line? Would you get out and go into a dump site just to see a bird or a certain kind of animal? Well, let me know in the comments. I'm very curious to hear what you think. Well, norovirus is a little different, and you hear mostly about that on ships. And I'm going to tell you why you hear about that on ships. But I do want to tell you that these viruses happen on land as well as on cruise ships. And think about this. Cruise ships, they fall under a whole different responsibility when it comes to reporting illnesses. So let's kind of sidetrack for a second. You went to an all-inclusive hotel, you had a great time, you're on land, it had nothing to do with cruising, and you get home and you're sick. So you're thinking, should I report that to the resort or the hotel where I stayed? Well, I know why you're not thinking that, because what are they going to do with that information? Probably nothing, because they're not required to do anything with that information. However, when 3% of the passengers on a cruise ship start exhibiting symptoms, they are legally required to report that. So think about this. These types of viruses, they don't just happen on cruises. And I hate that they're targeting cruising. This happens on land as well as on cruise ships. So what do you guys think about that? Do you think that resorts, if reported to them, should be required to report these to the CDC? Well, let me know your thoughts on that. Let's talk about norovirus. And remember, norovirus can happen on land as well as sea, but somehow it always gets blamed on cruising. And I understand where, your thought process is coming from. Oh, I'm trapped. There's so many people and, people are dirty. Well, I'm going to tell you that part of that statement, part of what you're thinking is correct. But let me tell you about norovirus. Let me tell you how norovirus is different than hantavirus. Norovirus is a gastrointestinal virus. And when I tell you it is coming out both ends, there is no polite way to say it, all right? So I'm going to knock on some wood. I've been lucky never to experience that, but have you? Have you ever experienced that? I mean, what degree was it? I've heard some people say, oh, I vomited a couple of times and the next day I was good. Or was it like a whole cruise length until the time you got home and then beyond? Tell us and share your stories down below. We are curious to hear your level of intensity on the norovirus. But norovirus is something that happens because people are not taking precautions. And again, it has nothing really to do with cruising, except there is a 3% requirement to be reported. So here's where norovirus happens. People are not washing their hands. And remember, when, on some ships, when you get to the buffet, there's Mr. Washy-Washy, and he's telling you got to wash your hands. But think about this. How many people slide by and don't wash their hands? And I really don't understand why they don't want to wash their hands. But if you have any ideas on why that is, please share your thoughts with us. So now you've gone to the buffet and you've touched all the things, and do you not wash your hands again? Well, what I do as a precaution is I carry wipes with me and I re-wipe my hands, because I don't know what you've been touching or if you washed your hands. So washing your hands is number one. And guys, this is so gross, but how many times have you been in the bathroom and seen women, men coming out of the stalls, skipping the sink and not washing their hands? It is absolutely unacceptable, and I just can't even wrap my head around why you wouldn't wash your hands. So a lot of people don't use the public restrooms. One of the things I always suggest is that if you can get back to your cabin, use your cabin bathroom. You know it's clean, you know you're going to wash your hands, and you know that you are not going to get or transmit any bacteria. Okay, also, don't go in crowded elevators. Now, you're on a ship with 5,000 people and you're thinking, how do I not get in a crowded elevator? It can be done. And if you find that the elevators are too crowded, take the stairs. I mean, we can all use a little bit of stairs after all that good food, right? And also, don't touch the handrails in the hallways, and don't touch the stairway handrails either, unless you have mobility issues. There's no reason to be dangerous, but remember to clean your hands as soon as you touch those things. Well, here's the story that I've been promising you that has always stuck in my head. And it kind of circles back to the hantavirus and things you can contract from visiting sites with animals. So years ago, I remember I had a little cold and I went to a walk-in place. I didn't have a doctor at the time. And, you know, before they tested me to see if I had the cold or the flu or whatever, they asked me a series of questions. And this was like over 10, 15 years ago. Have you been out of the country and have you visited any farms with animals? I thought that was an odd question. And I would say no, because I hadn't. And then we would proceed from there and find out I just had the flu or, you know, whatever. But it was because, remember, in other countries, the animals, the zoos, the places, they are not up to the standards that we have here in the United States. They may not have proper veterinary care. And now you're holding a monkey or you're playing with a sloth. It's just not good for your health. So be aware of those things before you sign up for these types of excursions. And the last part of the story is the comedian that I saw on one of the ships. And he was so funny because he said, man, when, you know, what's with cruisers? When they go on vacation, they do all kinds of crazy things. They're holding monkeys and iguanas and swimming with sharks and swimming with pigs. And he goes, you know, you guys, the pigs are pooping in the water. Why would you do that? And, you know, you have to ask yourself, why are you swimming with a pig pooping in the water when, you know, there's already things in the ocean that are pooping and peeing in the water? But I digress. It's just some things to think about. And, you know, I hope you think about it too. And I hope you'll keep cruising, because if you're asking yourself, is Michelle still going to cruise? Absolutely. I am still going to cruise. I don't think this is going to turn into a COVID situation where the cruise lines shut down, but let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that it doesn't go in that direction. And, you know, cruise smart, everybody, because you can protect yourself from getting sick on land or on sea. Well, bye for now. I hope you found this information informative, and I hope you found my stories at the end enjoyable. I can't wait to take you on my next adventure because, like I keep telling you, I got a family cruise coming up, and it's going to be a doozy. We haven't all been together on a cruise ship for over 21 years at the same time. So this should be interesting and fun. I'll see you on deck. Bye-bye.